we do have Nirupan. He's a senior non-functional testing consultant with over 10 years of experience, really wonderful. And he's currently pursuing his career in the UK. Along with him, we do have Karthikeyan. He's also into non-functional testing, wherein he is leading and having experience of more than 8 years. He has excellent technical skills with a focus on continuous improvement and client centricity. So the topic today they will be covering about will be adopt non-functional testing to realize the full potential of connected devices. We do have URLs of their profiles and videos about the lecture about the interviews with them. So please check out on these URLs if you may. If you and there you can also see the LinkedIn profiles of both of them. So I hand it over back to you, Karthik and Nirupan. You feel free to start sharing your screen.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Nirupan. Thank you, Shreyas. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon and good morning across the geo. Thanks for giving this opportunity to present in on your forum. So we are more excited to present this story into the forum. So as Shreyas quoted, right, so myself Karthik and I have my partner Nirupan who is going to present our story here about the adopt non-functional testing to realize the full potential of the connected device. So moving on to here is our agenda. We wanted to keep it very simple. So first we wanted to start with our introduction, what is going to be our story all about, and then followed by we will start our IoT ecosystem and the challenges, and followed by we will give a deep dive of IoT in NFT. So that's how the story will start for the first half session, and then next we will jump onto the detailed solution, which gives the overview of what our solution is all about, and followed by with an non-functional requirements has to be captured from a solution, and finally we will end up with our benefits. To start with, we all know how IoT is playing a very key role across the world, and based on our Gartner report, right, we could see approximately 25 million IoT devices would reach by 2025, and which is going to be worth of $1.1 trillion by 2026. Having said this, we wanted to showcase what is all about IoT. So IoT is a buzz or a very hot topic for decades, as we all know. But we all know it also giving a radically improved a lot into our social improvements or social challenges, whatever we see. The best key example I would say is the COVID-19, right? So during COVID-19 as well, we all know how IoT was playing a very key role. Now, having said this IoT into the picture, right, we wanted to see how IoT can be blended with our non-functional testing. So NFT is abbreviated like a non-functional testing. So for each and every IoT technology or IoT techniques, right, we wanted to see how non-functional testing is blending together, and we wanted to see how non-functional testing can be used effectively to test the full potential of the connected device. So we all know whenever we say the non-functional testing, right, we all think about the customer experience and the quality of speed. So here we wanted to see how non-functional testing is helping us to realize the full potential of our connected devices. Having said these two main parties, right, so we wanted to know, we will be having couple of questions arising in our mind. The first question is we wanted to see how our company is offering this particular services and how efficiently it can be used and operated with our interactive design. So that's our initial question will be arising into our mind. And then the next question would be how safety it is. Let's say a human is surrounded with a lot of devices, and if the devices is going to rule the world, right, how safety it is being handled effectively and how it is not impacting our human day-to-day life as well. So these are the two questions I think we would be rising into our mind, and we're going to see the solution, we're going to see the approach in coming slides. So typically we wanted to depict the end-to-end IoT ecosystem, which is starting from our mobile app up to the smart devices or the smart IoT devices. So so connecting devices validating the performance and security is going to be the key challenge. If you take the being at performance, being at security, it's going to play a very key role across the IoT ecosystem. But we are going to see the end-to-end performance testing and security testing across the layers, which is going to touched upon in the upcoming slides. But the key pain point, what we see at the moment into our IoT devices is the NFT pain point, if I say. So Nirupan, if you can click, yeah. So on the NFT pain point area, right? So we wanted to see the key pain point is from a communication device to the smart devices. So that's going to be the key pain point. We wanted to see how performance testing and the security testing are effectively handled between the hub and devices. Using this particular technique and using this approach, right, we have a couple of challenges which is given to our mind, and we do wanted to highlight what are the challenges being seen while implementing this end-to-end solution. The first key solution was, how does the non-functional testing can be validated end-to-end IoT ecosystem, starting from our mobile app up to devices, right? What are the different techniques, what are the different layers can be performance tested, how we can be securely do a performance testing. We don't have any proper baseline or proper metric in an industry to measure the end-to-end performance testing. The second key challenge was, though we have a smart devices in our home and IoT hub in our home, right? So we do wanted to do the firmware validation and verification across the devices, which is ensuring that each and every device is up to the mark with firmware standards or not. Continuing with these two challenges, we do have a third challenge is of the continuous performance testing. So as we see, there were a lot of fast growing IoT devices and IoT technology, right? So we do have a lot of challenges coming to each and every industry, being at retail, being at banking, being at utilities, industries, anywhere. There is a faster to time market where so many changes are going on every millisecond, I would say. If that is the case, our testing assurance, our testing capability also to be in very effective and continuous manner. So we also wanted to see how this entire ecosystem can be performance tested in a continuous way. And followed by, as I was quoting earlier, we don't have a proper industry benchmarks to measure the end-to-end IoT system. So we also gathered a few set of industry benchmarks, how we can take it into each and every IoT performance counters and the security counters. With this, I'll stop here and I'll hand over to Nirupan to carry out on the upcoming slides.
Yeah, thanks, Karthik. Okay, so Karthik was deeply explaining about how IoT and how the NFT is blended with IoT, right? And what are the key challenges, what's going on. So just I want to give a classic example or a short example where everyone can relate with each other, right? In a cricketing field, there are like a lot of fielding positions are available, right? And there is a one fielding position called as cow corner, where usually captains won't set their fields over there, but typically in the 40 to 50th over during the one-day matches, right? Those area are where the runs will be flowing and the match turns across, right? Likewise, IoT devices one cow corner area where usually in any business, right? A device or a client layer or a cloud platform is being focused more upon, and there are like industry standard tools or KPIs available across to test it and to validate it or to verify it, right? But in terms of IoT devices, we don't have any market tools or we don't have any market KPIs, industry KPIs to validate it. Actually, to be frank, to say there is none of the things are available. So why? Because is right. A business has a view that IoT devices is being properly validated or performance tested or the scalability or tested from the manufacturer himself. That's the one myth that's been available with the business. But to be frank, that's not happening actually. So the manufacturers are testing the skeleton, the product alone. But the main key thing is like you are injecting your coding, you are injecting your functionalities into the IoT devices, right? At that point of time, none of the business is aware of like whether it is scalable enough, whether it is secure enough, or whether it is stable enough to handle all those number of messages, millions of messages are flowing across to devices, right? So business are not aware of it, like how they doesn't know like how to validate it or verify it. So just to touch upon as an IoT ecosystem, what is the focus and how we are tuning it, and what are the deep dive things we are going to follow it up. So first to say, focus on end user, right? So whatever it is, whatever business it is, end user is the key focus for any business. So in end user perspective, for an IoT, it can be a mobile, or it can be a web, or it can be anything, right? So there are like key hotspots, like how the volume, or how the responsiveness, or how the fragmentation, how the battery is being working upon, right? So those are some of the key hotspots that are being covering upon in the device layers, and focus will be more upon like how response of the page, right? It's working, how the scalability is working, how the availability, or how the application stability is going on, right? So those are the key things can be validated and verified, which there are like a lot of market tools available to test that, and a lot of custom codes are available as well. So to moving on to the next one is the cloud platform. So whatever it is, so whatever an end user, or whatever it's an IoT device, right? Cloud platform is the heart of all these ecosystem. So to say that, right? How much of data is being processed over there, how much of data is being validated over there, how much of data is stored over there, how the server responses, how the infrastructure is being built, how it is being collated to each other, and how it is transferring the data to the diverse applications across, right? So those are the tuning of the backend systems that we are focusing as a hotspot, and NFT focus is more related on data consumption, or a better processing, or about how about data management is working on, right? So those are the things. Moving on, so saying that about the end user focus, tuning a backend system, and when we're moving on to the next item, which is an IoT device on its own, right? So to say that whether the IoT device hotspot will be like how much data can be ingested, how much it can simulate, how if different protocols are communicating with each other, whether the devices are getting that data, and whether they are reciprocating it properly, whether they're functionally working properly, how the security or the validation is working across the IoT device. These are the hotspots, and the focus will be more upon how the scalability, security, stability, or sustainability works on. To saying that, right? So everyone has a question, right? Is it possible to validate IoT at a device level, right? Yes, we can do that. So before moving on to the next slides, right? Upcoming slides, I just want to give some use case example. Just want to easily relate, right? So because it can be alien words, or it can be buzzwords, but still people want to relate and understand how these things, what we are trying to communicate, and what is the solution we are just providing, right? Will you be say take a classic example like home automation? Let's take a home automation, because nowadays in pandemic situation, everyone are there in home, and we are trying to become smart, and IoT is playing a key role in home automation or healthcare, right? Take an example. If you have a bulb in home and it has been automated with the smart homes, and if it is going to take 15 seconds or 20 seconds of time to switch on, after you starting from a mobile and it is traversing to reach the mobile to switch on the bulb, right? If it is going to take 10 seconds or 15 seconds, will you be fine for it? You would have been walking and you would be switching on the light, right? So, and there is another question also arises: if your devices are vulnerable, whether you feel secure at home, right? So those are some of the key things which we can think on in terms of IoT devices, and that's where the key thing comes into picture, whether how the non-functionality, validation, or verification is going to play a key role in IoT devices. So moving on to the next one, we want to give a better picture. So till this point of time, we was giving a picture, but we want to say like how this is being solutioned, how we are going to approach it, how we are going to validate it or verify it to ensure when we are adapting an NFT non-functional testing, so to an IoT, right? How much effective or how benefit you can reap it out, right? So those are the things we want to share it as a solution or an overview, right? So this is just a depiction of a high-level overview, like where it's only an IoT device we are focusing on, where the Karthik earlier was saying about the pain point, right? So this is only the area where IoT device between a device-to-device communication is happening. So what was the first thing we did? So the first thing what we want to do is like what we wanted to. So what was the challenge we had is, right? We want to capture the communication that is happening between a device to device. So capturing a communication between a device to device is not an easy way. It's not a straightforward approach. It's going to be taking a lot of effort to make it happen, right? So what we did is, right, we used a sniffing tool where you can capture the data communication that is happening between a device to device, saying that will capturing the data or the communication between the device to device will sort out all the problems. No, we need to understand how the messages are simulated, and we want to understand how the communication is happening, and we want to break and we want to see deep dive analysis and into a device to device communication. What we did is, right, we break down the communication. So like as you are seeing in the picture, right, a communication that has been transferred from a IoT to hub device to a network, and from the network it is connecting to a routing mechanism, and from the routing mechanism it is connecting to another IoT device to make it work. Right, so that's kind of sniffing mechanism or a customized mechanism that has been created here. And what happens is, right, it goes into, it intrudes into that communication layers and see what are the communications or the data that has been transferred or received between the devices. So that's how we have just broken down it. And keeping this, right, if you want to validate it, our main key thing for any testing, or if you want to assure the quality, monitoring becomes a key aspect. Right, so for monitoring, we created a customized reporting format where it captures all the metrics and it stores. So when we have a metrics, we can go ahead and we can say like, okay, this is where the issue is. So just not only giving a recommendation, it's all about having how actionable recommendations are being given to the business. Because as today is a fast moving world, right, we don't want to give just a recommendation and move on. Instead of our assurance of quality is being moving ahead as an actionable recommendation where we want to action it and make it happen, and we want to fix it, right? So saying with the performance, security is another part which becomes a key thing during this pandemic situation, right? So we want to focus on the security aspect as well. How a security between a device to device can be tested. So everyone would have got a question, right? What sort of security we are going to do it in a device, right? So why we need to do a security testing in a device? Saying that in a device, so manufacturer would have tested, as I said earlier, right? Manufacturer would have done a testing for that device. But when a business is injecting their firmware into a device, right, which is being controlled by the business itself, and the business is having the control over the firmware, where they want to inject that firmware into the device and make it work, make it functionally work, make that secure validations or configurations are up to the standards, right? So it is prone to threat. It is a common threat vector, right? Anyone can inject a malware, or it can be vulnerable, right, and make that device non-functional, make that devices as malicious and make it not work properly, right? So that sort of security it's been vulnerable over there across the world. So what we did is, right, we created a reverse firmware analysis, which is called as a static device firmware analysis, where we extract the firmwares, where we do an automated scan using our Python code. So what it does is it goes step by step and it scans completely the firmware analysis and it gives us the report. The report is completely automated, and which is from that report, what we used to see is like whatever the passwords, whatever the SSL communications, whatever the libraries that have been happening, whatever the binary codes that are going into it, right? If it is not properly encrypted, it clearly shows that, okay, this is not encrypted and it is prone for a vulnerability. So and also what we used to do is, like, we used to hard code those values, and we want to see how it is making that device not working, right? So those are the things we created, and this solution completely covers a picture how a device can be tested, how the communications can be tested, how the security can be worked upon. So these are some of the key things of our solution overview. Moving on to the next one, right? So yeah, just to say, we are completely automating these solutions as well. So because by simulating those data and to the device to device as well. Moving on to the next slide. Okay.
So, we got a question from Asmani. Yes, Asmani, go on.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, go ahead with the question.
Ashmani, you want to give a question? We see you raising a hand.
I'm not sure, Karthikeyan, whether that raised hand is for a question or something else. maybe I'll request you that if there is any question, Nayanraj, maybe you can drop it in the Slido and we can take it at the end. I think you can continue for now.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we have seen the ecosystem view. We have seen how the solution is being carried out. I mean, we are seeing how the communications are happening across, right? We have a road, but if the road doesn't have an endpoint, so if you don't have a clear view, what you are going to test, what needs to be tested, and what needs to be factored on, right? Then this is not going anywhere. This is not going to give any use to anyone, right? So first thing is, right, you have to create a kind of a requirement. What need to be tested? Yes, I'm able to sniff the communication between a device to device, but that doesn't mean that whether that device can be non-functionally it is working fine or functionally it is working fine. No, without knowing what you need to test or what you need to validate or what you need to verify it, right, it is not going to help anyone across the business. So what we did is, right, as a first thing, what we created a kind of a requirement, what needs to be tested across performance, what needs to be tested across a security, and what are the key requirements or what are the key NFRs that needs to be met upon, right? So in terms of performance, you are going to have a load simulation, you are going to have a network transmission, you are going to have a routing mechanism. So saying that, right, so you have a device to device, and when from one device, one centralized hub is connecting a multiple device, right? Say for example, you have a bulb, you have a heater, you have a plug, you have a TV, you have a fridge, you have a fan, everything it is being connected across a Wi-Fi or any different network transmissions, right, to a centralized hub. And this centralized hub is being communicating to a cloud for data storage or data persistence, whatever it is, and it is being communicating into a mobile. So that's how this all IoT ecosystem is working upon, right? If this centralized hub, if I'm, say for example, if I'm going to switch on a bulb, right, and if the bulb is transmitting and is reaching the centralized hub, how a centralized hub knows it has to reach the bulb? It doesn't need to reach the heater, right? So you have to create an algorithm, because you have a different number of devices connected. Each devices are connected to a node, right? And you need to create a fastest path, and you need to know how this fastest path is going to work, and this responsiveness is going to be better. So those kind of validations has to be come into picture. Those kind of analysis need to come into picture to evaluate this device performance. And your network transmission and connectivity plays a key role as well. And when you are doing a load simulation, right, you need to ensure how many devices that can connect with the cloud or a IoT hub, right, with the centralized devices. So and with the performance, these are the key requirements you have to identify. So only we are just giving a high level requirements. There are even more requirements, but we want to show some key things what you can capture as well. And in terms of security, right, as I said,
I'm really sorry to interrupt you. We have few minutes, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Thanks.
And in terms of security, encryption and device security, everything needs to be validated, and where the static firmware analysis is going to come into picture, where the firmware assurance need to be assured. Okay, moving on to the next slide, it's the benefits. So what is the benefit? Okay, so when I'm going to adapt an NFT and to an IoT business, right, what is the benefit that is going to repeat out, right? So when you are having a non-functional requirement, 25 plus non-functional requirements across a device level, if you want to test it, right, to meet the standards, you have to outline it, and security related issues or bad practices that has to be bring into picture. So when you have all these things, you need to create a framework. So all these frameworks are being best in class, whatever we have created, and this is being completely automated, so it can be 100% reusable, right? So when you have all these frameworks, NFRs, frameworks, and automated everything, right, what it happens is, right, you get a result. From that result, you know what is the action you need to force upon, and what is the action you need to put on the IoT devices to make that resources an optimized one and properly plan it and authorize it, right? So when you do that, what exactly happens is you are creating a contactless user experience, or you're creating a much better user experience, right? That's what NFT is all about. That's what we were saying in the first slide, right? Driving customer user experience to a betterment, right? So that's what we can achieve towards it. With all this, whether this is being used, whether this is referring to any one particular IoT industry, no. This is across any IoT industry where IoT devices is going to play a key role. Even it is consumer IoT or industrial IoT, whatever it is, you can use this solution, and you can adopt the NFT to make the connected devices to work better, to make it properly perform better, even in a secure environment, right? So this is all about what we want to say. And thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. Any questions?
That's really great. Thank you very much for your wonderful session. And it was really interesting to know more about IoTs and the all the stuff you covered. So we do have one question. I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
I can show up the question. So I'll just open up the Slido. Okay, so we do have a question from Avik Chatterjee, which says, "What is sniffing mechanism used for IoT devices? Is it any performance tool or tools like Fiddler?"
Okay. Yeah. So Avik, to answer your question, sniffing mechanism is all about sniffing your network bandwidth, right? Your network communication across. So Fiddler, you are saying in terms of like it's a Wi-Fi. If you can use Fiddler if it is going to be a Wi-Fi communication or something. But if it is going to be a Zigbee kind of communication, right, then it needs a proper sniffing mechanism. You need a custom chip. And in that custom chip, there are like network conditions available for each of the protocols, right? With that protocol, you need to create a custom chip, and that custom chip has to be securely driven by the manufacturers as well. So manufacturer also plays a key role over here. So it has to be agreed by them. Business has to agree, because if you are going to sniff the network between the devices, right, then that device it's vulnerable as well. So if you are going to sell it outside, that is going to interrupt your business as well. So you have to be very careful what kind of sniffing mechanism you are going to use across devices.
Great. Okay. Thanks for answering.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
So Nayanraj, you raised a question. You raised your hand. So do you want to ask any question, Nayanraj? So you can just unmute and ask if you're not able to use Slido. I'm not sure on that.
No.
Okay, never mind. I think it could be a misclick. That's why we saw.
Please. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we have two questions. This was the last one you can take up. So this is from Dhananjay Bua. What if communication between devices is encrypted? Can still sniffing be helpful?
Yes. Actually, that was a good question. Actually, so communication, if the communication is encrypted, right? So that's why I was saying that custom chip, whatever you are using, has to be liaised with the manufacturers as well as with the business, right? So you have to be very careful when you are using a sniffing mechanism. So if your manufacturer is not going to agree, and if you are going to use any kind of open source custom sniffing mechanism, right, you cannot capture that data, whatever you are saying, right? If it will be encrypted. You cannot decrypt that value. So only when you are in layers with the manufacturers, only when you are layers with the business, you can do that activity. That helps actually. So that kind of control only when you have with the manufacturers and business, right? You can go ahead and verify and validate those communication stuffs.
And adding to Nirupan, right? Technically speaking, the encryption also adds one of the flavor into our security flavor, right? So while we are doing security testing, we also ensure whether that encryption is properly being maintained across the industry standard. So that's a key question. Thanks, Dhananjay, for asking that question.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for answering them. So if at all there are some more questions, you guys can connect with both the speakers over LinkedIn and can have a communication there. So we'll proceed on to our journey. So I want to formally thank you, Karthikeyan and Nirupan, for coming onto this on this particular conference and giving away your interesting information about the IoTs.